Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan, and today we are going to continue our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. I want to start out today by tackling an issue that was raised by a member of our viewing audience. Really, the question boils down to the person that was involved in an assaultive relationship, an abusive relationship, and did not press charges, but now writes to us and says, quote, "It's been less than a year. I did not press charges, but I want to do so now. What's the rule of law about this?" Well, it's a good question. You have to understand one thing. The way these things typically work is that there will be something going on that causes somebody to call the police, and they come to the scene of a domestic disturbance, and somebody is taken away from the scene, typically arrested. Every now and then they'll say, you know what, we'll leave you both the way they are, or they'll say, you go spend the night here, you go there, and they'll say, but on occasion they will actually detain someone and put them under arrest and charge them with domestic violence. But in every single case where there's somebody who's charged or potentially charged with domestic violence, there's got to be a complaining witness. There's got to be somebody who's going to say, yes, I'm going to go forward with the case. Now, an example here that we are asked, this person says it hasn't been quite a year yet, but it's been probably several months. Without getting overly specific, I'm sure many months have gone by, but less than 12. So they want to know if now they can press charges. Well, what probably happened was the police probably asked them, either directly or perhaps through the office of the prosecutor, or somebody probably said, are you inclined to press charges? And they probably said no. And then the parties came back and they're living together, blah, blah, blah. And you gotta believe that there hasn't been anything new going on, because if there was a new assault, the question wouldn't be, can I still press charges on the old assault? They would just press charges on the new one. So therefore, look what's happening here. We've got an old case that they declined to press charges. Now something is going on, but not an assault apparently. And then the question comes, can I press charges on the thing that happened 4, 5, 8 months ago that I already declined? Well, you can, and if you can get the police to go along with it, they might present it to the prosecutor. But here's what you're going to be dealing with. In many, many of these cases, it's a he said, she said. It's one person's word against another's as to whether or not they're going to be believed, as to whether they'll be convicted. Now, if you want to further water that down by having declined to prosecute in January, but then change your mind and try to do it in June, it's just going to look like there was nothing really going on that supported prosecution when it happened. And many, many months later, you now have a motive. Maybe the other side's going to say, you're trying to extort money out of me with the idea that if I don't pay you, then you're going to tell the police I did something. Maybe there's a motive that the person has to now support the reviving of these old charges. It's possible that the court will disregard that. It's possible that the jury might think, you know what, we're going to disregard the fact that she changed her mind or apparently recanted and many, many months later reversed herself. We're going to not think about that. But more likely than not, since you have to convict someone beyond a reasonable doubt, it's going to be very easy for the jury to think, you know what, something's going on here. I mean, at the time that it just happened, that's the time when the emotions are the highest. That's the time when it's most likely for people to react. And at that time, she said she didn't think that there was something here worthy of pressing charges. And then 8 months later, all of a sudden she thinks there's a motive, there's something going on. So you got to wonder whether or not the jury is going to take that position, because if they do, you will have put yourself through really a court ordeal for no reason with no particular payout. That's why I don't recommend you do that. Now, if there's something further to discuss about that, if you have further questions about that, of course, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.